Welcome to Industry RSVP In-Depth. I'm your host, Tracy Thomas, and today we have with us Michael Wallach, who is a talent manager and author of the book, How to Get Arrested. Thanks for being with us today, Michael.
Thank you, Tracy. I'm going to have a good time.
You sure are.
Yeah, this looks good.
So, with new guests, we have a fun icebreaker set of icebreaker questions.
Okay.
This should be fun.
Right.
If you woke up in the morning, which superpower would you like to have? The ability to fly, the power to be invisible, or be the smartest person in the world?
Oh, I'd like to be invisible.
And why is that?
I would like to be able to see things. I would like others not to know that I'm watching them. And that would probably make me, or give me the ability to learn so much about other people.
What songs are you currently most fond of?
Present songs that are out now?
Sure.
Well, I can't think of the name of one song, but my favorite set of songs is done by Barry White.
Excellent.
And I've listened to Barry White. Actually, I did see him once. I've listened to Barry White for years and years. He's the only artist where I don't get tired of his music.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your book?
Well, let me tell you about the book. It's tough to talk about myself, but maybe it'll come up throughout the interview. I think there are probably, maybe there are 100 books for actors out there. There are books about how to act and how to put on your makeup and your voice and getting an agent, getting a manager. There are great source book. There is a great source book like Acting is Everything by Judy Kerr.
Mm-hmm.
It's an incredible book. But of all these books, they're all written like textbooks, even though some are brilliant. And I decided to write a book in story form where I would teach lessons. It sounds a little arrogant, but I would teach lessons through the actions of the characters. So there are two characters in my book. There's Dick and Jane. They're New York actors with some success, and they decide that they'd rather leave New York and move to California, move to LA to pursue. And the device I use is, while I'm teaching lessons through the actions of the characters, one of them does it the right way and one of them does it the wrong way. And throughout, they're playing off each other. And the reader right away knows who's doing it smart and who's doing it in a way. Well, I'll just say that Dick just wants to get discovered. See, he just wants to be cool. He just wants to walk around and get discovered. He has a little bit more depth than that. But and it happens with actresses also, of course. But I think I've seen it more often with guy actors. And I've been doing this for about 20 odd years as a manager agent. So I've seen it so many times. So I just started to write, and that's the way it came out, where it became a story, a novella, as opposed to do this and don't do this. So actors have found it to be a really easy book to read, and as you were just saying, it's illustrated with pictures, and it's kind of a fun book. Some people even laugh at some of the jokes.
That's excellent. What was the original impetus that got you to write the book?
An ex-girlfriend. That's the impetus. I was talking about. Well, I teach a class at UCLA Extension called This Business of Acting that I created for them, and I've been teaching it about 4 years. And during one class, I was thinking to myself as I was talking to everybody, why don't I, instead of just doing this one-on-one or one with 15 people in a class, maybe I could write something. I knew I could write letters, but I didn't know if I could write a book. I mentioned it to my girlfriend and kind of forgot it myself, but she never forgot it. And she kept saying, would you write the book? Start writing, just start writing. So if you're interested in this, I started in Starbucks. without a computer. I wrote the first paragraph on a napkin.
That's awesome.
And that first paragraph that I wrote, which was just the start of the book, became almost word for word the first paragraph in this book.
Wow.
After that, everything else was done on a laptop. I mean, I was actually writing that. I actually wrote the book.
That's excellent. Thank you for watching Industry RSVP In-Depth. Make sure to join us next week for our continuing interview with Michael Wallach. You've been watching the Virtual Channel Network.